Let me ask you a simple question. What if I told you that your car payment isn't just costing you $500 a month? It could be costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Not because the payment is high, but because of what that money could have been doing instead. You see, most people look at their car payment like it's normal, just another bill, something everyone has. But what if that normal decision is quietly keeping you from building real wealth? And once you see this, you won't look at car payments the same way again. Welcome to Keats Money Mindset, where we break down money in a way that actually makes sense. Because the goal isn't just to make money, it's to understand how it works. Because when you understand how money works, you start making better decisions with it. You stop guessing, you stop reacting, and you start moving with intention. So whether you're trying to get out of debt, build your savings, or start growing real wealth, this is where you learn how to think differently about money. Because here, we focus on one thing: build assets, break cycles, create freedom. Somewhere along the way, car payments became normal, expected, even accepted as part of adult life. You graduate, you get a job, you get a car, you get a payment, and most people never question it. Let's look at an example. You walk into a dealership. They don't ask, "Can you afford this car?" They ask, "What monthly payment works for you?" Because when you focus on the payment, you stop thinking about the price. Recent consumer data shows the average car payment in the U.S. is now over $700 per month for new cars and over $500 for used cars. And loan terms are getting longer, 6, 7, even 8 years, which means people are paying for cars long after the excitement is gone. The payment isn't the problem. It's what the payment hides. Let's break this down by looking at the total cost of ownership of a car. $600 per month doesn't sound crazy, right? But over 6 years, that's over $43,000. And that's before insurance, maintenance, gas, repairs. For example, you buy a $35,000 car. By the time you're done, you might have spent $50,000 plus. But here's where it gets worse. That car is losing value the entire time. And here's what most people never stop to calculate. Not just what the car costs, but how long it keeps costing you. Because when you stretch a loan out over 6, 7, even 8 years, you're not just paying for the car. You're paying for the decision for nearly a decade. Think about that. You might not even like the car anymore, but you're still making payments on it. And during that time, your financial life keeps moving forward. Your income changes, your goals change, your priorities change. But that payment, it stays. And what that does over time is it locks a portion of your income into the past, into a decision you already made. And the longer that happens, the harder it becomes to redirect your money towards something better. The moment you drive off the lot, the car drops in value. Not a little, a lot. Let's look at an example. A new car can lose 20 to 30% of its value in the first year alone. So think about this. You're making payments on something that's going down in value. You're financing depreciation. And here's what makes this even more frustrating. You're not just paying for something that loses value, you're paying interest on something that's losing value. Let that sink in. You're borrowing money to buy something that's going down in price, and then paying extra on top of that. So it's not just depreciation, it's amplified depreciation. And in some cases, people end up owing more than the car is worth. That's called being upside down, which means if you needed to sell it, you'd still owe money after it's gone. So now you're stuck with the car or stuck with the debt, and neither option builds wealth. Now let's look at this differently. That same $600 per month invested instead? Let's look at an example. $600 per month invested over 10 to 15 years could grow into 6 figures. That's the real cost, not what you pay, but what you give up. Your car payment isn't just a bill, it's a missed opportunity. Now let's take this one step further, because this is where the real cost becomes clear. That $600 car payment, that's not just $600. That's $600 every single month that isn't being invested. And over time, that difference compounds, not just once, but repeatedly, year after year. So while one person is driving a nicer car, another person is quietly building assets. And at first, you won't notice the difference. But give it 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and the gap becomes undeniable. Because one person chose comfort and the other chose growth. And over time, those decisions don't just add up, they multiply. Most people don't buy cars logically, they buy emotionally. I deserve this. I worked hard. I want something nice. For example, upgrade cycle. First car, upgrade, upgrade again. And every upgrade comes with a bigger payment. Lifestyle inflation doesn't feel like a problem until it is. And here's where this becomes a cycle. Because once you get used to a certain level of comfort, it becomes your new normal. So when it's time for your next car, you don't go backwards. You upgrade. Slightly nicer, slightly newer, slightly more expensive. And each time, the payment grows. But it doesn't feel dramatic because it happens gradually. And that's how lifestyle inflation works. It doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in, quietly, until one day you look at your expenses and realize most of your income is already committed, not to building wealth, but to maintaining a lifestyle. The system is designed this way. Low monthly payments, long loan terms, easy approvals. Because if people focused on total cost, they wouldn't say yes. The system works, but not in your favor. And the hardest part about this cycle is that it doesn't feel like a problem while you're in it. Everything feels normal. You're making your payments, you're keeping up, you're doing what everyone else is doing. But years go by, and your financial position hasn't really changed. Because the system is designed to keep you comfortable, not necessarily to help you grow. It rewards spending, it rewards upgrading, but it doesn't reward patience or discipline or delayed gratification. And that's why breaking out of this cycle requires awareness first. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. This doesn't mean don't own a car. It means be intentional. Consider other options like buy used, shorter loan terms, lower budget, invest the difference. It's not about deprivation. It's about direction. Because every dollar you don't overcommit to a car is a dollar you can redirect towards something that actually grows, something that gives you options, something that builds leverage. And over time, those small decisions start to stack. They start to create space in your finances. And that space, that's where real progress happens. Because once you see this clearly, you realize something. It's not the car, it's the cost of the decision. And this is where the real shift happens. Because once you understand this, you stop looking at purchases the same way. You stop asking, can I afford the payment? And start asking, what is this costing me long term? Because every financial decision is either moving you forward or holding you in place. So it's not about never buying a car. It's about understanding the trade-offs and choosing what matters most to you. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the car. It's about control. Control over your money, control over your future, and control over the direction your life is going. If this video changed how you think about your car payment, then don't just move on. Do something with it. Like the video so more people can see this. Comment below, what's your current car payment? And if you're serious about making smarter financial decisions, subscribe to Keith's Money Mindset. Because here, we don't just talk about money, we help you understand it. So you can make better decisions, avoid costly mistakes, and start building real financial freedom. This is Keith's Money Mindset, where we build assets, break cycles, and create freedom. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.